Mr. Michael, it's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too. It's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks. I look forward to our Saturday mornings.
I do as well.
I love your haircut.
Thank you.
I've said that to you 3 times already.
I will keep taking compliments.
Awesome. Dude, these wildfires are absolutely crazy.
I can see it from the office.
Yeah. Hopefully by now, when this episode airs, that it would have all been resolved. So that's the hope. Real quick, I want to say a special thank you to our new some of the people who have reviewed the show on iTunes. Really appreciate your reviews, listening to the show, being subscribers. We got a bunch of new followers, and just a lot more engagement on the socials. And we just want to say thank you so much.
What?
Reach out to me on Instagram. Tag me. Tag the show. If you're listening, you're enjoying it, hit me up. I love to share what you post back on my Instagram stories, back on Twitter. The love you show for us, I love showing it back. Again, this show is for you guys. So special shout out to you guys. Also, remember, if you're listening to this on Adobe Radio, awesome. You get to listen to it live. But also, the show doesn't end here. It goes on after,
20 minutes.
Yeah, it goes on usually 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes more. It depends on the episode.
Sometimes more.
Yeah, and you'll be able to download the full episode on Spotify, iTunes, or even watch it on YouTube the next morning. So Thursday at midnight, should be ready to go.
All up.
They're all up. You should be able to check it out. Our guests today are good friends, amazing human beings. They are twin composers, Andrew and Jared DEPOLO. You can check out their stuff at depolomusic.com. Extremely talented, hardworking, positive guys who have my same sense of humor, which I think is rare because I'm a little bit of a weirdo. Guys, let's give it up for Andrew and Jared DEPOLO. Guys,
Wesam.
What's going on, baby?
Andrew, Jared, thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
Good
So
to be
fun
here.
to be here. Now, was that you playing the flute in the intro?
It was. I played that. I played flute since I was 6.
Yes.
I know. I'm totally lying to you.
Okay, I was like, hey, you're pretty good. Let's get you in the studio.
Yeah, we actually need a flautist.
No, that was actually made by my brother and his friend a while back.
That's really good.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Love it. So fun to be here. Always great seeing you.
I know. We don't see each other enough, I feel
We
like.
don't. We don't.
We don't.
We don't.
Because you guys decide to live at the end of the world, Culver City.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it's technically West LA.
End of the world for me.
Yeah.
Okay,
I live
fine.
in North Hollywood.
Fine,
so-
fair enough.
Yeah, when I initially met my wife, she lived up this way, and it was like a long-term relationship. That's how we felt about it. Just being all in, no-ho. I'm on West LA.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, she was in the valley.
She was up here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so-
dude, and that
It's-
worked out.
It worked out. We made
That's
it happen.
surprising.
We're a testament to true love right there.
That is.
You know. So.
You should have heard him though. He was like, "Man, I got to go up there again."
Dude, I'd be like
I
that.
could hear him. Yeah, just
Yeah, I can't. That's so much of a drive. So, but you plan it with traffic. As
That's right.
all
You plan
things.
it. You go against traffic. You make it happen.
Yeah.
Good to go.
That's commitment.
It is.
That's real love.
It is real love.
Years ago, if I found out a girl was like, "Oh, I live in Santa Monica. Hi, bye."
Yeah, sorry.
hi, bye. That's so good.
Dude, I've missed you guys so much. I
agree.
I knew the moment I met you guys, which was at the Workman's, that I was like, "Oh, these
Did we
guys
have
get my
Buka
humor."
jeans on though? I mean, that's the question.
Uh,
Because that kind of does it.
it
That
does.
kinda-
Dude, where did that come? Oh yeah, you.
So in our picture,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instagram.
right? Yeah.
You had some jeans on that were so boot cut. I had to comment on how boot cut they were.
It's so good though.
This was,
What year was that?
man, I don't know when we had those photos. Before we moved out here. But boot cut was
Hopefully.
in. It was in. It was in at a moment.
Yeah.
In Ohio. I mean, we're from Ohio.
Yeah, we're
so
from Cleveland. Let's get that out of the
The
way.
style there, a little bit different than LA, I would assume.
Yeah.
We thought we looked cool.
Just a touch. Just a touch.
We thought we looked cool. So,
So for our listeners, you guys are composers. You moved out here from Ohio
that's right.
to pursue your dream.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Indeed.
That's correct.
And when did you move out here?
It's been not quite 4 years.
Oh wow, fairly new.
Fairly new. I don't know if we're able to say that we're veterans in LA, but 4 years, I think you're still kind of new.
Do you feel time has gone by quickly, or
It's flown by,
So-
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been quick. It's been very quick.
I loved how much you guys hustled to do what you love and also pay your rent, especially in the beginning. So, can you give us a brief, like, rundown of your journey out here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jared, Andrew.
Yeah. And usually when we do it, I'll do half of a sentence and Jared will do the other half. Just a
Okay.
twin. You know. we're
Sometimes we'll do
in
every
sync,
other word, but it's just,
But
gets a little
we'll
complicated.
spare you.
Thank you.
That's the twin powers that you have there. So we kind of moved out. We packed our car.
Mhm.
We had a place to stay. A friend of Josh Galbincia, he opened up his extra bedroom for us, and was like, "Hey, you guys can come out here." He's originally from Cleveland as well,
Yeah.
so we had a mutual friend. So that was a big kickstart. Like, "Hey, let's go out and see if we can make it happen." And we have a couple months. Don't know what our life's gonna look like. We packed our car. And funny
Stuffed
story,
the computer in the back seat.
packed everything we could, and
Yeah,
we
just
didn't even know the
stuffed it.
seat went down in the back, so we like threw stuff away. We didn't even know that the seat folded.
It's a Honda Civic.
Wait.
yeah. So
You didn't
it's a
know the
Honda
seat
Civic.
went back all the way?
well, we
No,
thought
that
we-
it folded down and you could put stuff in the trunk
Yeah. So
and make it bigger. So we
Oh.
were like, well, we're not taking that.
yeah, we're not gonna take that. Let's
We don't need
leave
it.
that. And then we got out here and we're like, oh, we could have totally kept
Oh,
like
man.
X and X, but it was just a funny thing. But packed it, came out here, and
Did you know anybody?
So it was Josh and his wife, Steph.
Josh and his wife Steph. and
Amazing
then-
people, by the way.
Yeah.
Love 'em.
Remember I went
There's-
camping with you
yeah.
guys. With
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Such great heart.
Yeah,
Love him to death.
she's a producer and he does visual effects. Just great people. They're just family to us out here, which was fun. Getting us going out here, where you have somebody that's like in your corner that
Oh yeah.
champions you, that helps you.
So the funny thing about that though is that we slept in a corner bedroom of their house, of their apartment, and there's a air mattress they had, and so like Andrew and I would sleep on the same air mattress. I mean,
We're
that's
pretty
okay.
close.
That's
We
not-
shared a room together,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we're
it's
pretty
brothers.
tight.
No problem.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so like during the middle of the night, it would like start to seep a little air out. So like they would start to go into a V, and then by the middle of the night, I'd be like, Andrew would be like just right
We
on
were
top
just-
of it. Yeah. So that was fun.
That lasted.
Welcome
for
to
about-
LA.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
That lasted that was 3 months there, and then
Wow.
3 months in the bedroom that we were, hey,
Just trying to hustle and grind.
trying to, you come out here and you have, doesn't matter where you come from, you come out to LA and it's like you're in it's a whole new world out here. It's not to quote Aladdin, which is still.
Should we start singing?
I mean, it's still.
All right, guys, that's the show. Thanks for coming on.
Can you go ahead and just pause that recording? Not gonna be good. No.
Can I get more levels on this, Michael? Sure. Thanks.
I love it.
Sorry.
And yeah, so you have to really, we had some advice. We met with composers, and the best advice we got was like, hey, just make this your home.
Yeah.
Just come out here and live, and you're gonna naturally meet people, build relationships, and you're not gonna feel that stress of I gotta make it happen and get burned out. So we had to find work. So it's a funny story. So our first job out here, Jared and I worked for 3 Twins Ice Cream.
We did.
And
Wait, 3 twins?
Three
three
twins.
twins.
Hey, confusing name, but go ahead.
So we worked for them, and we were.
Why 3? So I'll let Drew go.
It was funny though when we do events and some people are like, "Are you guys the owners?" And if it was like really busy, I'd be like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Where's the third one?"
And then I'd be like, "Where's
Yeah.
the third one?" And we'd be like, "Well, we don't need him."
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we're
it's,
fine.
so
Yeah,
we need
we're-
2.
we took it
We don't
over.
need 3.
But
He's passed. No,
yeah.
That's so dark. Whoa.
We don't talk about that now.
yeah, like
Yeah.
well,
Sucks for the third
Moving
twin,
on.
but we got the company now.
moving on.
Would you like some vanilla? It's
Yeah,
great.
here's some cookie dough. It's really good. So
By the way,
that
yeah.
was our first job out here, which is so funny. I mean, we almost did it as a joke, like, hey, just apply for this company, see if we can get it, just start working. You have to survive. And super humbling, but yeah, there was so much fun that we had from this job. It was like the best first job that we could have coming out here.
That's great.
We had to go down to Garden Grove. We had to go into they had like a branded truck, so we drove that around. It was an ice cream truck, but we go to events and just scooped ice cream.
So obviously, like, I know you guys have such a positive attitude and just you radiate positivity. Were there any moments during this time where you guys would be fighting with each other or just really down in the dumps? Because it's hard for me to imagine you guys like that. Just because every time I see you, we're always laughing, having a good time.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean,
I think some of the times where we'd be driving down, the traffic would be like, man, it's like 45 minutes getting paid basically minimum wage to drive 45 minutes and work like a 4-hour shift sometimes. It'd be like, man, this is brutal. But it just felt like, it felt right. As crazy as it was like I got to bond with Drew. We got to see the city. We got to drive all over. They like we did events in Mount Baldy, and we got to go around, and we really got a good lay of the land, and it was cool because we really just got used to the city.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
The Mount Baldy one was funny because we were up there trying to give ice cream away, and it was
started
like snowing.
snowing.
We're like tossing ice cream sandwiches at
Who
people.
wants an
like,
ice cream sandwich?
They almost looked at us like, "Why are you up in Mount Baldy? It's snowing." Like, you know. But we had a lot of fun memories from that, you know. And not to mention, best part about it was I met my wife doing that. And she was working for another brand. We met at the Cider Fest in Hollywood.
It's crazy.
And just crazy where if, you know, you think about it, if someone were to tell me, hey, you're going to move out to LA, you're going to scoop ice cream in a grocery store, and, you know, we graduated college, you're like, oh, yeah, like,
I got business.
It's a very, you know, your pride, you set that at the door, and you're like, I'm going to do this thing. But looking back on it, I wouldn't have changed it for anything. I mean, I met, you know, love my wife, and we had so many great memories, and owe a lot of what we have out here to, you know, in LA right now, to just taking that first step and going, you know what, let's do this thing. And looking back on it, like I said, we wouldn't change a thing about it.
There's no shame in that. I think that's a common problem nowadays, where there's no shame if you're hustling, you're working a day job, whatever that day job may be. If you have to dress up in that Statue of Liberty suit for those tax companies,
Sure, the sign spinners,
yeah, like, dude, that's a hustle. This guy's trying to make money.
Yeah.
If you're making fun of somebody for that,
dude,
like, that's absolutely ridiculous. It's so silly to me. And like people who like have to work double shifts at restaurants, you know, janitors, any type of those jobs where it's like, it's hard. Sometimes they pay minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's a hustle. There is no shame in that. So that's always, it's so funny because like in the moment you're like, this feels a little embarrassing or a little ridiculous, but man, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave us some gorgeous green button-ups that we got to wear.
Man, I tell you what, I put that on. First one was in Whole
Slick.
Foods, and I was like, I'm like, I'm doing this thing. And you're right, you're totally right. It felt a little, you're like, man, I can't believe this is like, I moved out to LA, gonna be a composer, and then you see yourself doing that. You're like, what's going on here? But still, just humbling yourself, doing it. And I encourage people out there, like, don't shortchange yourself. Those opportunities, there's so much fruit in them, and then you won't see it until, you know, they're over. And looking back on it, like I said, it was so much fun. But if someone told me that we were gonna do that when we moved, it'd be so hard to be like, why would I voluntarily go into that? Like, but
yeah, just
being open to new things and being open to new experiences, and that's a huge.
Yeah, I even want to encourage even people that may be thinking about moving out here, because Drew and I were blessed. We were able to do some awesome projects back home in Cleveland and build up our repertoire or
resume,
however you want to say it, credibility. And then just coming out here, we were just like cold calling, emailing everybody, and it was just, we didn't hear back from nobody. Like every day we just wake up and be like, I don't know, how do you do this? How do you do this? How do you get music work? And so it was just super humbling. So anybody that's struggling with like the confidence or anything like that, happens to the best of us. Like, just stand firm in who you are, be confident in who you are as an artist, continue to strive and push forward and own who you are. Definitely don't compare. And it can be discouraging, but it's like that makes you stronger. You wake up, if you don't hear anything, just keep pushing, keep doing your thing, and you got to know that something will come your way eventually.
There's a lot of truth in that, and I'm just curious to know what you guys. Is it your upbringing that makes you have such a strong foundation? It seems like. Because a lot of people don't have that. Does that come naturally to you guys? I mean, where does that come from?
Yeah, I mean, we just grew up, we speak the world about our parents. My mom, quit her job to raise us. There's 4 of us. So there's Jared and I are in the middle. We have an older and younger brother.
Oh, I did not know this.
Yeah, so it was
no.
4 of us.
Yeah.
And so we had a lot of fun growing up. And, my mom had us run around. We always were doing different sports and...
We baked the cake every day.
It was like, we literally...
It was like, Mom's like, there's 4 people, 4 boys, we're making a cake. That'll keep them busy for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Put as much icing as you want on that bad boy.
So growing up in that environment where it was just fun, and she's also a professional artist, and
that's
huge. Really big for us because she saw what we had in us before we even knew it was there, and she was able to do the parenting thing and guide, but not say, hey, do this. It was like, hey, I really see this in you guys. I encourage you to start pursuing music. And she even pulled us out of school when we were little we grew up going to Catholic school, and the music program was very subpar, and we were thinking about quitting.
We were playing trumpet.
We played the trumpet. You know, we were both the buglers, and classic. So
I was
much
like,
fun.
you make a noise out of it. It's like, yeah, I'm playing that.
That's it.
Something came out of that.
Yeah.
Classic DePolo.
Yeah, that's right. And that's how we make music now. We just
Did you play any instruments in grade school?
Grade school, no. I actually
Recorder?
started teaching myself when I moved out here.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, we had you had to go down the line. It was like pick up every instrument and then you just picked one. So
the trumpet
Really?
stuff came out of the
It
trumpet,
was like
so.
just if you want to play one, just pick one.
I wish I stuck with piano.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Like when I was,
instrument.
I'm right there with you. I want to get back.
Oh, speaking of Karen,
Yeah.
I took some classes from her.
Really?
Karen
Love it.
Workman, which I need to have back on this show. 'cause
Karen's-
she was on
Karen's
my previous
amazing.
podcast. Dude.
Powerhouse.
Have you heard her play?
She's amazing.
Best piano player
So-
ever?
Super humble too.
Not-
Super humble.
She wasn't humble with me.
She
was
wasn't.
Like, I'm the best. You'll never be as good as me.
Doesn't sound like
I'm
Karen.
kidding. I'm totally
Even if
kidding.
you just hit the note like this, it's not as good as I
Yeah,
hit
like
the
I
note.
can just watch.
Just that right there.
Best.
She played something
My
in
C?
front of me. And this is like typical how my brain works when she was teaching me piano. I'm like, oh man, this is like a real piano. And I'm like, the keys are kind of heavy. And I'm like, maybe it's the piano. I'm not getting this song.
Maybe I need a Steinway.
Because on my electric piano that I was practicing on, I was like, okay,
Yeah, you
I'm
got
better on this.
You got it.
There's something wrong with the piano. And then she started playing what I was trying to play, and I was like, oh, it's me. 100% it's me. It's not the piano. It's me.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, on all fronts too.
She has an EP coming out. I'm kidding. She does not.
We'll cut that.
Karen.
Yeah, like the
Where'd this
Casio
come
keyboard.
from?
The Casio keyboard
Yeah,
where it's that was our music program. So this was our music program in Catholic school. It was all right. Let's everybody get together and sing. And he put on a beat. And he'd be like, and then we would start singing. And Jared and I were like, we need a little more. We need a little more. We need a little more. So
So
she
bad.
was going back to the story. She was sick, not feeling well, and she's like, I got to pull my kids out of school, change schools to take them to the middle school, the public school, which had a really good music program, and that's how strongly she felt about like what she saw in us, and we were just middle school at the time, and that's just part of being a parent, like recognizing, like seeing the strengths of your kids and seeing like the gifts that they have, and yeah, so that was a monumental decision that we. Looking back on, that would have changed the course for us. And so staying in music was a big part of it, so.
I was so lucky to have a mom like that.
Right? Yeah. So that is a huge part of our, positivity and who we are. And that's just, kind of how we operate. We're always like, nothing, don't let anything steal your joy. It's kind of like a mantra that we have.
Yeah.
Which is, huge. I mean, that's like.
Whoa. That's so
It
weird you
is-
say that.
it's
No, I just listened to the Jocko podcast. I got to pull it up because it's an amazing episode for people to listen to. Do you guys listen to the Jocko podcast? It's number
don't.
148, When Life Laughs at You, and it's about a prisoner of war in the Korean War.
Wow.
And humor. He kept, when they were prisoners in war, he kept bringing
crazy.
humor into the group. And it just kept their morale just
Yeah.
a little bit more, a little bit
Mhm.
more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's so true.
Yeah. It does
I
make a
think
big difference.
It even kind of brings up a point. What you were telling me, which I heard recently as well, is that I think they proven scientifically that your thoughts can actually change your DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's amazing.
Is that correct? I think. I'm not 100%.
I know for a fact that it changes your the pathways in your brain. Like you're literally creating new pathways in your brain, which in turn, if they are positive things, I think will have a positive effect on your DNA. Simple example would be working out. If you're disciplined and you keep wanting to work out, your DNA will change. They took the blood out of somebody who was like in the middle of like exercising or whatever. They took some blood out of their thigh and their DNA had like changed or something like that while they were working out. So it was really bizarre. So yeah, I 100% believe that.
Yeah.
So oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah. What was it?
No, I was gonna say, and you guys.
No, so,
Also,
yeah,
no,
Yeah, go ahead.
Cut him off. Yeah,
Jared,
that's fine.
No, it's my show.
The next half hour is just no. Go ahead. Yeah.
By the way, Sam, do we have to differentiate between who's talking? Because if they're not watching, they might be like the
Can
same.
you give me some more bass?
You literally.
We already have a filter.
Mr. Producer, can you give me some more bass?
No, we have a filter on.
Oh, really? On mine?
yours.
So it's
Yeah.
just gated. It's off.
No, it's super high.
Okay. All right.
You just sound like a demon.
Oh.
My name's Andrew.
And those twins were just really.
Because I mean, I'm just saying, like people, you know, if they're not watching, they could be like, well, Wesam just has the same person in there,
You
and
know
he's
what?
saying they're
Possibly.
twins.
Possibly, but that's why we have the YouTube.
That's the
Yeah, that's a good
YouTube.
point.
The YouTube.
The YouTube
We'll catch
solves
it.
that problem.
That's
We'll
the
catch
Fraser.
Can't fool YouTube out there.
You
Too
can't.
smart.
Speaking of, this is so random, and this is the way
Hit
my
it.
show operates.
Hit it.
Imagine how many YouTube videos are out there right now. I know that thought just popped into my. I know it's super random. I don't care, but it's insane to think about how many YouTube videos are up there. Michael, can we do a?
Michael, can
Michael's
you
already
find?
on it.
So how many we have?
How
Mr.
about
Michael?
how many YouTube videos are uploaded every second as
Oh.
well?
That's interesting.
Oh, that's
A lot of
okay.
content.
You want to guess? Let's have a guessing thing.
How many YouTube videos per
Can
second?
you actually pull that up?
Yeah. I'm gonna guess
15,000.
15,000 a second. Okay.
That.
Look, I love the
That is
regret in your eyes as soon as you go.
It's good.
What about you, Andrew?
Oh wow, this is so tough.
How about 1,500? How about 150?
I do like the Price is Right, and I'm like 1,501 or whatever. Like you're like this isn't Price is Right. I don't know. Let's say 100,000.
What?
Okay, that's a lot.
Dude,
think
that
that's
no
too
way.
much?
Dude, that's way too much.
I'm gonna
Clearly,
say- I'm
Jared
gonna
and I
say-
don't have-
Honestly, I'm gonna say 10,000. I think that's a fair amount.
Dude, you were getting on me for
We're
15.
doing it.
Yeah,
We're
I
doing
know.
it per second. Maybe I'm way
It's
off.
in the details. Life is in the details.
It's at 5,000. Yeah.
All right, Michael, do we have the
We
answer?
got it.
you
What
think?
is it?
I'm hours.
Okay.
Hours?
And so
every hour.
Wait. Here to say the exact number of YouTube videos, but Google says there are over 120 billion now.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
120 billion. Okay,
Total.
total.
Yeah.
Not per
Not
not per hour. Not per
Hey,
hour.
guy.
Wow. My perception, my ability to like.
120
Find out.
billion.
I just gotta stick to the piano.
All right. Well, Michael.
But there's 576,000 hours worth of video uploaded every day.
All right.
Have you seen some of those people
Well,
that
there's
upload?
some dividing math that
Yeah, that's
one
good.
of us could do right now.
So
but
pretty much, I was closest. Is what that said.
That's
I don't
still
even want to
so
start.
much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's so much.
Yeah, a lot of content.
Oh my gosh! Can you imagine the first person to upload a cat video? Like they're like, dude, this is gonna be a
This
hit.
is, you know what? My cat is just singing. I'm putting it on YouTube. Yeah.
So,
where did that was like?
you said something about oh yeah, you commented on differentiating between the YouTube voices.
Yes.
And I was like, that's why we have the YouTube. And that thought literally just popped into my head. I'm way too caffeinated right now.
Yeah.
Did you not see me this morning? I ran
Dude, it
up
was-
a mountain.
No,
Again.
again, every day you do that, don't you?
Now it's getting back to normal, like
Back
4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
So
I've been partially. I'll see your Instagram story and I get a little bit depressed. I'm like, oh, I'm still in bed and Wesam's running a mountain. So.
Did you get up earlier
No.
now? Since do you like to run in the dark?
yes,
Yeah. So you get up at like.
the weirdest answer in the world. Yes.
Who's that sprinting down my alley at 2 in the morning?
Yeah.
That's Wesam.
As Wesam. He's
We
up early for
did
sure.
that one. We did that run one time with you, I think.
Oh, Runyon.
I think we did the running
Yeah.
canyon
Yeah,
run.
that wasn't too bad, right?
It wasn't too bad.
No.
I mean, the
It's a
end of
good
it,
run.
we had that peak that we had to get up. That was a little bit tough.
That's the best part
That was
because it
tough.
really makes you think about everything and like regret that you're even up there, and like it makes you think how weak you are. You guys work out. You still work out? You still lift?
I still lift, yeah.
The YouTubers can clearly see that I'm the bigger twin.
Dude, the clothes are loose. I mean, nobody can see anything. You're just as big as me.
Yeah.
It's equal.
No, he's outpaced me. He's outpaced
Really?
me. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just a little. Well, you know what? You guys are literally wearing almost the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
And we didn't plan this, by the way.
Yeah, that's
You
just
did not.
the twin thing happened.
You laughing over there?
You guys totally
I just walked
coordinated
out of the
that?
door. I was like, dude, really?
Yeah. I was like, I'm not gonna change. It's too late. Let's go. Like, come on.
I was like, no, it's fate, man. We can totally wearing this.
But
Yeah.
you know, when you're working out, there's that point where muscle failure starts coming along, and you realize, oh man,
That's the part, though, that separates. That's where you get the gains right there.
the gains.
That is
Yeah.
true. That
Got to
is true.
push through.
I explained to my dad what gains were recently, and he's like, "Oh, I like that." I was like, "All right,
I like it.
yeah." He's getting
That's
those
good.
getting those gains back in his
Yeah,
legs.
he's getting. Oh yeah, it's specific in the legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He walked a mile yesterday
Oh,
with his
yeah.
walker, over a mile actually. So
Yes.
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Way
so
to go.
good.
Way
Man,
to go.
I missed you guys. Seriously,
Been a while, man.
it's been too long, and
I
I
know.
hate that you live just far enough out of the way, and I'm way too busy nowadays. Anyway,
Yeah.
I literally work, go home, run, practice my lines. That's all I do,
Yeah.
and then come here.
It's super random, man. I'll be like cooking or like cleaning, ironing. I'll be like, get a nice crease out of my pink shirt or something, and I'll be like, how's Wesam doing?
Hey, what?
Wow,
It just comes.
Cut that out.
yeah.
Hey, cut that out, Michael.
Stop it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're losing signal.
You just pop into my head all the time. Like, I wonder how he's doing.
Yeah, we always loved your energy, your vibe. I remember the one time
Yeah.
we were hanging out and you just took Jared's phone and just started taking a bunch of photos with it.
Dude,
Yeah.
It was just
I still got him, man.
hot. That was funny.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
People leave their phone out.
We're so pumped for you too, man. Like just
Thanks.
what you're doing, and so happy for you, man.
I wish there was a way for us to collaborate on something.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know. Is there
If I directed something and I need music for,
or if
yeah.
you needed
True.
if you need a person on set to be in two places at once?
Yeah.
oh,
I mean that.
that's-
you got to think about without visual effects involved. I mean, that's we can make that happen.
The twin thing?
Is that too corny or
no, it made
you
me
know?
think of Chris Angel. Did you hear his whole stunt
Chris
with his
Angel.
shows?
Mind Freak?
Yeah.
The Mind Freak.
Mind
Levitating
I remember
across.
turning the show, I
Yeah.
remember just turning his show on and he's like lifting a car and like levitating across the building. I'm like, Mind Freak is real. This guy's crazy.
Well, his
Whoa.
live show didn't get the best review whenever he basically used a double for one of the tricks.
Oh, that's yeah.
Where it was like literally impossible. Like it showed him walking through a door and then someone who looked like him on the top, but
Oh,
you
that's-
could tell it was like a silhouette. It kind of,
Oh,
and it's like,
totally.
and then he appears back on the ground. You're like, wait a minute, that was just
Oh my god.
guy.
Yeah, and people search every second of the video and try to find like, is there a harness? And yeah.
Yeah. It's hard. Excuse me. It's so hard to make people believe stuff like magic stuff on YouTube nowadays. I feel like, or if there's like a real ghost thing, because everything can be doctored so easily.
Yeah, it's kind of part of the game. Like, even what's that Penn and Teller show? People will just watch it and
Oh.
try to. They'll be like, I know how they did it, and they just watch it over and over. And I mean, when you see it the first time live, it's always like, oh my gosh. But if you're able to, go back but it's kind of fun, like trying to figure out like how do they do it. It takes
Yeah.
obviously the magic part. I mean, it's you know what I mean. I don't know, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Kind of go back there and check
Do
it
you
out.
wish magic was real, Andrew?
It sure would be fun to just like teleport somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just
Teleportation.
if I needed to come up and just be like, we say what's up, boom.
That would be fun with friends. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be amazing.
Yeah.
Wars would be fought a lot differently,
They'd be a little bit
more intense.
rocket arms, I don't know. Just
What'd you say?
well, no, that's
Wait,
that's
what?
not so much magic. That's like my mind.
Wait,
Just,
what did you say though?
said
He said
rock.
rocket arms.
Rock. That was the.
I'm thinking.
You had your arms out.
I'm just thinking of. I was thinking of like for some reason my mind went like if magic was real, it could be a superhero. I don't know why. It just
Okay, yeah.
that. So then I don't know. I just went to rocket arms.
That
so
might be the
That was
trailer.
Andrew,
for this
by
episode.
the way. We're just gonna clarify. It's not the other one.
That'll be the first YouTube comment. Will be rocket arms.
Rocket arms.
Like, smash that like button.
And then we're gonna see it. It's gonna be like I'm gonna be in the theater, and it's gonna be like Marvel's gonna come out with a trailer, and it'll be like rocket arm. It's like a new guy.
Yeah.
So
I
started-
that would be a lot of money to invest in
Yeah.
that idea.
Yes. Doesn't sound like a very good idea, but it'd be yeah. Anyways,
So.
talking about rocket arms right now. So
Oh my gosh. You guys recently. Are you allowed to talk about some of the projects you worked on, or is it still under wraps?
no, yeah, we can.
Okay.
There's some. We have
Future ones we
we
can,
have a-
we just
we
can't
have
be
an-
specific.
Yeah, we have an animated feature that we're still like in talks of doing that will finish in like 2020.
Yeah.
The animated takes a little bit longer, but that's really fun. And then we have another feature that they're filming next year in October in Budapest that we are, it's not confirmed 100%, so we won't want to talk about it quite yet, but those things are really fun that we have to look forward to, just some of those new features that are going to be finished.
Awesome.
But we just finished we worked with a company called Fullscreen, and they do the social media for Mickey. And, this is Mickey's 90th anniversary this month. So
Oh wow.
we helped out with some of the audio and some of the original music in the Mickey Through the Years video, which will be on YouTube. I don't think it's on there yet, but that's something that we recently just did. So that's really fun. I mean, you never know what the next project's going to be. You're jumping around. I mean, we were doing, from Irish dance music to, and I was just back home in Cleveland, and we were at I went to a Browns game, and they're still playing our music there. So I was like,
Oh,
wow,
that's
they're
awesome.
still playing.
So cool, yeah.
I
We
didn't
had
even
no
know
idea.
they were still playing it. And I'm like, oh, I think that's the one we did. Was it? Yeah. And so it's just
That's
fun.
really
I mean, you do all kinds
cool.
of stuff.
It's pulling for those Browns, man, but
Baker
Still
Mayfield,
struggling a
come on,
bit.
come on, Baker,
Yeah.
you got it.
I don't know much about football, but I do know about the Browns.
well, that seems to
What
be.
do you
yeah.
know about the Browns?
They are not good.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah,
I heard.
yeah.
I heard.
And I heard one of their, I think it's the defense coach. He's a large individual, and I saw a video of him going, said hut. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, dude. He has his stomach would go up and down.
Oh yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about, Michael?
Oh, that's on.
I forget what his name is.
Hard Knocks.
Yeah, it's from Hard
that
Knocks.
on
Dude,
Knocks?
the core strength,
Sit hut.
the diaphragm control, and said hut.
Yeah.
Said hut.
It comes out of nowhere. It's just boom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's somebody who's
Offensive line coach, man.
committed. Offensive line.
Offensive line.
I tried to do offensive line in high school, and they were like 120 pounds.
Dude, yeah, we were like $130, $135.
I think we were
His height.
$120.
Freshman, $120.
I tried to be offensive line. It just didn't work. I got flattened, and that was it for me.
No, it's not true.
I've been trying to find a good.
We did play hockey though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man.
That's kind of that gets
Hockey gets a little rough.
physical.
A little bit.
Yeah. Michael, did we find it?
Is this it?
Bob Wiley. Or I
Yeah,
think
that looks
it's-
like it. This is kind of a long thing here. Let's see.
Oh, there.
Yeah,
it
this
is.
guy.
Oh, look
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh, look at the
Dude.
stash on him.
I know.
That's
The
a
Browns,
man
they're
among
gonna
men.
mark my the Browns. They're gonna. It's always next year, but I think we got Baker. I'm really happy we got Baker Mayfield. He's
That might be it.
good quarterback.
Oh no, that's
Yeah,
not-
you'll see. Like they do a little segment on him.
yeah. I saw it on an Instagram video. Anyway.
Yeah.
uh,
So
he's a-
then we just finished that, and then another thing that's cool is that we're working on is our mother who would paint to our music, and she would come up with original compositions while she's listening to our music.
Whoa.
And so she's calling it Display the Music. So we're actually trying to get that off the ground and have an exhibit out here in LA early next year. And it's
Yeah.
really cool because it's like every piece they can go look at it and listen to the music. And it was like created specifically while that piece is being played and
Yeah.
by our mom, which is like really cool.
Yeah, it's really fun.
So we're excited for that.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff come from that.
Yeah, we did
That's
an
awesome.
exhibit back in Cleveland, and just really neat. Everybody had headphones on. They go to each painting, they're listening to the music while they're looking at each painting, which is really cool. So we really want to do that in Los Angeles. So thinking like early next year. So continuing to finish compositions for that, and yeah,
Looking for venues
be
and all
fun.
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be really a fun kind of unique thing too.
You know, I forget who I was talking to. I think it was with you, Jared, where I talk to you the way I connect with a character or I'm trying to understand a character.
Mhm.
I remember.
Yes, and you told me you'll be watching the clip of which you're trying to compose the music to, and then you'll get really emotionally connected, and then you'll start like playing the music, and then sometimes you'll cry, and sometimes you'll actually feel connected with what's going on, and you know, you'll manifest or create this wonderful piece of music. And I was just like, oh man, that is so awesome to hear because it parallels very similarly to my process. And I'm like, that's so cool because obviously I don't compose music, but it's really cool to hear two art forms that are I wouldn't say they're cross disciplines, but they kind of live in the same area
Yeah.
in terms of, you know, making a story, you know, being part of storytelling. So
Yeah.
that's pretty incredible, man.
Yeah, dude, like art in general is just amazing. It's really cool. I have so much respect for all types of art.
Mhm.
It's really cool. I love just that's why I was so interested in how it works for you, man, cuz like Andrew and I get so connected to the emotion of what's going on, and that's like what I was kind of telling you is that the emotion stirs within us it's like music it just comes. And Andrew and I just become overwhelmed with it, and it's just getting what's in our head out. And the emotion stirs that. And so it was cool to talk to you about that because it's like when you're trying to get into the character, and I mean you could even talk about it now just a little bit too, is that what stirs you up? Is you're reading and you're just like getting into this emotion and that just like pours out of you? I think it's kind of the same thing, right?
It's changed for me, honestly, especially after shooting this show.
Mm-hmm.
I make almost no marks in my script anymore, which is totally weird because before I used to just write everything on there. The writing is extremely good for the show, so I'll be reading a scene, and then sometimes I'll make a little slash, like in the paragraph, like, oh, this is where there's a change here of sorts, a change in tactics, a shift, an emotional shift that happens right here. But whenever you understand a character's core belief or the way they're looking at the world, and it's good writing, and you're really present, and you're listening, and you're literally, I know it sounds so simple, but you're listening to what the other person is saying, and you're really reading them. The emotion and all that just comes naturally. It's like a byproduct of
Yeah.
you listening. It's pretty crazy.
It's cool. That's awesome.
I don't know if that's still along the same way of how you guys work with your music?
So I mean, music is just a voice. It's like the third voice, if you will, or second voice, or whatever.
Ooh.
Just of what's going on. So it's like sometimes people don't notice the music, but it's subconsciously like if it's there and it's doing its job, they're like, oh, this is great. Like, but then as soon as the music's gone, they're like, something's missing. Like I don't know what's missing, but something's missing. And then there's people like us or people that are in tune to it, where it's like as soon as it comes on, I notice and I'm like, is this adding or taking away from the emotion that's going on in the piece? And if it's not in a good way, then why not? You know, like I feel like Andrew and I do a really good job of connecting, and which is also such a blessing to be able to work with him, because Andrew and I can. It's like when you're composing music, you can go like 5,000 different ways in the next 5 seconds because there's so much you can do. But Andrew and I are all about just connecting with the heart of the piece of music and just taking it where it needs to go. And just so Andrew and I, like, we can jump seamlessly in and out of anything that we're working on. And we actually compose separate. Like, so I'll start working on something and then he'll come in, or vice versa. And it's so cool because every time we do that, I get so pumped because I just jump in there, listen to what he started doing, and it's always exactly what is needed.
Really?
It's like moving, yeah. So it's like he can jump in, and then I'll go on and be like, dude, this is so perfect. And then it stirs stuff in me, and then I jump in and add stuff on top of it, and it's just like it's a beautiful thing, man. Like, and we have so much passion, and just working with him, this is crazy, man.
It's so much fun. I mean, being able to share that with somebody, and being twins. I mean, we get asked a lot, like, what's that process like, writing as a twin? And you know, it's just fun that, you know, Jared and I, we always tell, kind of jokingly, but we say that, you know, we have so much passion inside of us that, like, you couldn't fit into one person. So, like, now there had to be two of us.
Wow.
And, like, we truly believe that. I mean,
as
Jared
crazy
and
as it sounds, it's true.
You know, it just, you know, the music just wants to burst, you know, from our soul, and it comes out in the piano. And, like, for you, it, like, you're acting like that's who you are, and it just comes out in the form of, like, the character that you are. And with, like, a painter, it just comes out in the form of painting. And that raw emotion it's just amazing. And for Jared and I, the best way that what we can get out that's on our heart is through the orchestra. I mean, just the ability to use all those different instruments coming together to create one sound that's cohesive is just so incredibly beautiful. And, you know, that's our palette, and that's what we always were drawn to. And even when we started just creating music in our teens, it was dance music. And
This is kind of a funny story.
before it was cool.
Yeah, so like
Before people were listening to dance music here.
for all the
You know.
you want to keep going, or
You can, I mean, yeah, you can throw it in there.
all right, I don't want to cut you off. You know,
Go
I don't
for it.
want to be known as the dominant twin over here.
Go for it. Yeah. Jared keeps cutting Andrew off.
guy-
What's going on?
Is it always like that?
Yeah.
I was playing. For all you gamers out there, I was playing Counter Strike 1.3, classic game, right? And I was on Ventrilo, and some guy was like, "Dude, there's this program. It's called Fruity Loops. You can do your own music on there." And I was like, "What? This is crazy." So you know, downloaded the trial version, started fooling around with it, and I was like, the learning curve. I was like, "What is all this stuff? This is crazy." But I was so enamored with the fact that you could like write your own music and then like render it down, and it's right there.
Yeah.
And so I started learning all the programs. And I remember going to Drew and being like, dude, this is crazy. Like, check this out. He was like, no, man, like, I don't want to learn. Like, this is crazy. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I made, like, I still have it. It's like the first beat that I ever made. It's like some rap beat.
We'll find it.
I have it. And
I would love to
I
hear
remember,
it.
I remember, like, showing Drew. He was like, that's so cool. And then we just started learning and writing dance music, which was, like, a lot of fun.
Yeah, so that's where it started.
Yeah.
And it was like, that awoke kind of it. We didn't even know we were like, oh, I didn't even know this was a thing. And we were totally, you know, ignorant to how all the software and technology, never even thought about it. But that dance music, it wasn't fulfilling for us. It was just like,
It was always about the melody when
you
we were
know,
writing.
it was just kind of, it was a fun thing. But then when we started getting into orchestra music, it was like, that was when our hearts started to come alive. And that was so natural to us. You know, we just hear, I try to explain to people, it's like you hear like a radio of it playing the song in your head, like it's finished. You just hear this composition, and then all I do is like decode it and then like put all the notes into the software so other people can hear it. And so you kind of it's just coming from your heart, and you're like literally just transposing it down on the software. And the first film we did, I think we were 18 or 19. It was a short film, and we just did it for free for a director that we met at an art show.
Yeah.
And that we ended up doing that, and we had so much fun with it, and it kind of was like, wow, I didn't even know this is a career. Like, we never even thought about that as a career. And that kind of kickstarted our whole, you know, like, let's really pursue this and let's do it. and he just loved what we did, and he ended up bringing us a lot more work, and that really helped kickstart like our careers. You know, we did a film that premiered at the United Nations headquarters, and we were still in college at the time when we did that, and it was narrated by Danny Glover. So that was really cool to have like a prominent actor narrating something that you're working on, and Jared and I were still in school, and
Like we walked up to the UN gate and they were like Ryan Gosling was like 3 people in front of us or whatever. He wasn't in it, but he was just there. I don't know what he was doing there.
somewhere
But they have like they have the list. They were like Ryan Gosling, and he's like check. He's like walk in, and then we get up. We're like Jared DePolo, and they're like yeah go ahead, you're good.
he was like, "Oh, we're on the list."
It was
You know,
pretty
we
funny.
are on the list.
Yeah.
And like, you know,
On the list.
it was just funny, and
It was on the list.
even working with the editors, and Jared and I like we still look young, and like the editors and everybody.
Do we
working on the
Wesam?
film- What's up?
Do we still look young?
No.
I still think-
Go ahead.
No, not at all. He's actually terrible.
No. Did you guys get sleep
I
last
think
night?
a little bit.
A little bit. Okay, cool.
I
You guys
still
need
think
makeup.
we're
Makeup. You guys need makeup.
a little bit young. Anyways, YouTube my premiere, whatever. Anyways, I'm digging myself a hole.
I need some of that caffeine over there.
No.
I need it all.
It's all mine.
Dude, it's cold here in LA a little bit. My bones are starting to ache. It's getting old, man. I mean-
What?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No. Your
Wow.
bones are aching.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Go to a doctor.
Actually, we need to pause the podcast and get him out of here. Wait, what was I even saying there?
I don't know.
I
I don't know. But
Do you
You were on the
remember-
list.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
we were on the
we
list.
were on the list, and we went and we got to meet the team that worked on this film, and they were all like, "Oh, you guys are the composers. We thought you guys were like in your
they thought we were like,
40s."
because how we composed ourselves to the
Oh,
emails
nice.
and what we were sending
and we
them.
were sending, and
They were like, "Who are you?"
See, I
funny.
love that shit. That's what and got me so excited because it's disciplined, it's professional, and it
Mhm.
doesn't matter how old you guys are.
Yeah.
I really, really like that, and I like seeing that in people. It shows to me somebody who's sharp, who's on it, who wants to look professional, who wants to get ahead, who wants to do good things with their life. I like that. I respect that so much, and that's so cool to hear.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And it's always like, you know, it'd be easy to like turn things down. You know, they always say that like if you're prepared, you have to be prepared for that moment when you need to, you know, be able to perform. And Jared and I always operated that way. Like it was just around the corner. Like we knew the opportunity was going to come, and we were always prepared for it. And it happened time and time and time again. And if you're just starting in music or just prepare yourself for those moments to where you need to
Very true.
be able to perform, because sometimes it comes quick and you only have a quick turnaround on something, and just you make sure you know the software, and even just if you are starting in music, use what you have, like just straight out of the box, like the software that comes in these DAWs like is good enough just to start, and don't limit yourself to feel like you have to have the latest and greatest technology and all this. Get good with what you have, and that's what Jared and I did. We had a couple of plugins we knew how to use really well. We knew how to get our stuff to sound really well, to really good with what, you know, programs we had, and we just didn't limit it. Like we could have said, oh, we don't know what it takes to finish this film and find someone else. But we're like, yeah, let's do it. We can do it, and just figured out a way to get the sounds we needed with what we had, and that's part of the story. You know, you gotta believe in what you can do, but then say yes to those things that stretch you, and then see what happens. But if you're prepared for it, you know.
And shout out to your audiophiles out there. We used the same like Omnisphere string patch, like for all of our strings, and we just like layered it. And it was, I don't know,
yeah.
This is like funny what you had to do
We said
to
like there's a
make it work.
violin, 1, 2, viola, and they were all the
Just
same.
all the same patches.
Same sounds, and like we would like modify it to sound like a cello, and like we, you know, just made it work because that's what we had. But
Yeah.
it ended up working great, and everyone's like, oh, it's so, you know, and it's fun. That's you know, and it happened time and time again. Like there was an orchestra that needed a Christmas piece.
Oh.
And we met him at a little Cleveland mixer thing, and he's like, hey, do you guys have any Christmas music? We love your work. We'd love to perform something. Andrew and I didn't. And he's like, well, you guys have like, you know, you guys got to get it to us within a week if we're going to perform it. And he kind of like looked at us like, you know, it's probably not going to happen. And Jared and I were like, no, we'll write something. We'll get it to you. We'll have the sheet music done, and you guys can perform it. And sure enough, Jared and I, we just wrote the first thing that came to our mind, and it's called Spirit of Christmas, which I don't think it's still on our website.
I think. Oh,
It might be. I have to put it back up, but we wrote it, got it all on sheet music, and you know, sent it to him, and he's like, "Oh, this is great. We're gonna play it." But if you're not prepared for that, then you miss that, and you know, that's just from us studying scores, and we don't have any formal, besides the training that we did through school. We didn't go to music school.
Wow.
And our Baldwin Wallace, it's a university now. It used to be called college when we went there. It's in Berea, Ohio. They have a really well-known conservatory, and the director of the conservatory came to one of the films that we was premiering in Cleveland. The president of the school heard about us and was like, "Hey, go check out these twins. They're in the business school. Go see what they're doing." And we met him and built a really strong relationship. His name is Peter Langren, just an amazing guy. Peter, you're awesome for listening. Just a really
amazing dude.
Yeah, he really like saw what we had.
He championed us. He really championed us. Yeah, he took us under his wing, and
it was like really cool to see. And he said, "Hey, I'm listening to your stuff, and we would have messed you guys up. Like, you didn't need to come to the conservatory. You guys are doing all the right things, like with your music. It sounds great." And so he even just to confirm, "Hey, like, you guys went a different path, but that's cool too. Like, you guys have it." And it was neat.
It's really awesome, dude. It speaks volumes of the culture and just of him as well. Really awesome.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a question then? You guys came out here. The goal is to become professional composers for film and television, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Why? What motivates you to do that?
Yeah.
So for us, and it goes back to the kind of question you had as well about what makes us so positive and encouraging is our faith. That's the biggest thing for us. So when we're composing and writing music, it really just comes down to we're just putting life into our music, and we're speaking life into people and what we're doing and who we're interacting with. And honestly, man, like, it really comes down to others. So that's why we're doing it. We're not doing it because we want to, I don't know, be famous or all these other things. Like, the stuff that Andrew and I get most pumped about is, like, I think how we said it once in this, we were doing this thing. It was, we want to be known by the accomplishments of those around us, not by our accomplishments. So, like, as far as when we start bringing people underneath us for our business, like encouraging them, getting them ready to go out and just kill it out there, and just like one by one, like create a culture of people that are just doing greater things than us even. Mm-hmm. Like, boom, this guy's doing great, this guy's doing it, and Andrew and I they all started with us,
Yeah.
But it honestly, it really is just about others, and just bringing life into music and into the interactions of people that we're dealing with, and that's kind of like where our faith comes in.
It's a big part of it. And then also, music is just so powerful. And so when you ask why, it's like, I always think about, the ability to draw emotion from without saying a word is so fascinating. And it's really crazy to think about, I remember having a professor in college listening to some stuff that we were doing, and she came back to me and was like crying. She's like, "I was just listening to this stuff crying. Like, what is that, And like, for me, that's love, just like love coming out in music." And
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I love getting really specific. So does that make you guys feel good, and is that why you do it? Or is it because you feel it's creating a positive impact on other people to lead better lives? Why?
I think the simple answer is I feel like this is what Andrew and I were created to do, is to just bring life into what we're doing in the music.
Yeah, the motivation, if you're doing it for, like, the approval of other people, or like makes you feel good, I think it's really just like, isn't life just about like the people that you interact with? And ultimately, what's the most important thing at the end of the day? It's like, who are the people that you're impacting in your life, and who have you impacted? And at the end of the day, we can't take any of this stuff with us. And so, I want to leave a legacy of people that we've been able to positively impact.
Mm-hmm.
And really, that's like, I don't know, there's so much, when you do something for somebody else, the joy that brings you, it's like awesome.
It's
really
so much greater than just doing something on your own.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that answers it for me. It is, but it's necessary, especially because you're risking everything to come out here. You've sacrificed so much for this. And it's going to get hard at times. And so you have to have such a deep reason why,
Mm-hmm.
as to, it has to be part of your core. Otherwise, when things get really hard, and they will, when things get like no hope kind of time, you're like, okay,
been there.
Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And that's what propels you forward to that next plateau, and then to that next one. And that
Mm-hmm.
gets you through that long plateau where you feel you're not making any headway, and then finally you see the next level up, and you're like, oh, thank God, there it is. That's why I feel you guys will continue on to have great success in what you do.
Thank you.
And because I see it paralleled with other successful people. Whenever their reason why is super strong, it takes them through the long haul.
Yeah, that's a good
It's
point.
a great point. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I've noticed people, who don't have that strong reason why. They might have a little bit of success here, a little bit there, but they're never in it for the long.
Have you ever told us why you do what you do?
Oh,
I think I would love to hear that.
yeah. So obviously, I felt a connection as to acting since I was young because it was
Yeah.
fun to do.
Yeah.
Talented at it, naturally talented. Cool, love it. Love making people laugh. Whatever. Second year of college, I was like, oh man, this is a true art form. There's truth. You can be truthful in these moments. Great. This is what you know. What I'd want to do this for the rest of my life. And then at the same time, around then, I was like, oh, I want to take care of my family because that's really important. And that was the main reason why I want to be able to take care of my family, my mom and dad specifically, through my professional career as an actor. As for the art form, I pray. This is part of my prayer. I pray that my art enlightens and entertains people in a positive way, so that they better themselves and they better the people around them, and ultimately that their paths lead to the all, the cosmic one, the God. You know what I mean? Whatever that individual person believes in, but for me, it's God. It's the cosmic, the all.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I love that.
Yeah, see,
So that's my reason why as to what I do. The family aspect is great because that's what keeps me going through the hard times, the constant rejection, the times where I'm like, what am I doing? Is there anything going to come up? How am I going to take care of my mom and dad if nothing's coming up? That kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it because it's focused on others as well, man. It's so
It
good.
is. It is. And we parallel a lot in the same way also in terms of work ethic, which I think is missing with a lot of new actors who come out here or new artists.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how to use a software? Learn how to use it. There's YouTube. There's 1,000 YouTube videos on how to learn to do anything.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for you not to learn how to do anything. There are a million... somebody has asked your question at least 10 times on the internet. No matter how obscure it is, somebody has asked it.
I believe that.
And somebody has an answer for it. So, no excuse. Go out there, get it done, and then eventually you start attracting these people who have the same mindset, and then you guys grow together, and then you're like, oh, you start helping other people. You're like, oh, that was me 2 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. Oh, dude, do these things. Or that's what I did, at least. That'll save you some time. Yeah. And I think that's so important, too, to remember as you're progressing, remember to help other people.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So that's why.
Yeah, we get so pumped, man. Like, kind of jumping on that same point I was making before, just thinking about bringing somebody underneath us and, like, encouraging them and, just kind of, like, fostering them into this realm.
Yeah.
Super exciting.
It's so much fun because we meet a lot of people that, honestly, we meet, I'm sure you see it. You meet people that you just see there's no hope. And they've been through they're trying to do it, and it's like they're just clawing at it and just weary and tired and depressed, and they're not enjoying their art anymore even, and where they're just like, I came out here to do this and like I don't have any joy left in the music that I'm creating. And like they feel lost. And Jared and I, one of the things we really want to do is to see people in those moments and go like, I see you for who I see, like that ability in you, and like let me encourage that and really foster that in you, and I want to see you thrive, and then go do it yourself, and take, it's even like we want to be, a lot of people out here are always like, coveting, I have these directors and these connections and jobs, and I don't want to share. Right. And Jared and I are always like, we want to give and pour life, and if that's the we want to see people out there excelling. So when people come to work for us, we encourage them to go do their thing and want to set them up for success. But we just naturally.
If you sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but if you want to keep this kind of close, so we make sure we hear you.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's just a big part of it's really one of the most things we get excited about, besides like conducting and like being in front of the orchestra. Or
of course, which is good.
Live. People. That's really where it comes down to, and you meet a lot of people out in LA that.
I don't know of any other alternative because I've been out here for 9 years now, and man, it's so easy to lose yourself. It's so 9.5 years. It's so easy to lose track of time. It's so easy to get lost in a negative spiral.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, it's hard. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it feels like, oh my gosh, I'm tired. But what's the alternative? You're going to be tired either way. That's what I've learned. You're going to be tired if you're doing work or you're not doing work. That's just the way I am. I caffeinate myself. I try to eat healthy. I supplement. But there are times in the day where I'm tired. And even the days off,
Yeah.
I'm still
I'm
tired.
tired. Yeah, exactly.
I'm always tired, guys. You know what I mean? But I'm like, you know what? It's a mindset at the end of the day. Like, no, I need to get stuff done.
Yeah.
And at least at the end of the day, even if I'm quote unquote tired, I'm like, no, I got stuff done. I feel good. I'm ready. I feel so good. I love this feeling that I'm going to do it again tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Speaking of attracting people, especially if, like, for people listening, you don't have anybody in your life or you feel like there's a lot of negative people, or like, how do I find positive people? I honestly think it starts with you. And then all of a sudden, you're going to notice positive people jump in. For instance, it's a great example with Michael here.
Michael on the spot.
Shout out.
Michael on the spot. We had a mutual friend, Steven Ellison. And I knew Steven, oh gosh, wait a minute. How the heck did I? Oh, that's right. I had a friend who referred me to Steven Ellison's reading of his pilot.
I was actually supposed to read for that part. I was not an actor. I was I was at a party with a mutual friend of Steven's, and he's like, "Oh, you will be great for this. Could you read for it?" I'm like, "Sure."
So funny how that works out.
And
well, what the funny
There it is.
and then they replaced me at the stage meeting with Wesam, but I still went anyway.
Yeah, he went, saw it, was super supportive, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We didn't become friends there.
Yeah.
We parted ways. I didn't even know him. Did we meet there? No, probably not.
Probably not.
Years later, I'm talking with Steven. I'm like, hey man, I'm looking for like a producer / sound engineer for my show.
Yeah.
I need somebody extremely reliable. You know me. I need somebody who's on time, sharp, who's going to be with it for the long haul. And he's like, cool, got the exact person for you. Because Steven knows me and knows my high standard. And then Michael came along, and it was great. He's been, it literally like, and I was kind of like,
Rockstar.
I'll be honest with you, I was like, Michael's too reliable. This is working out too smoothly. He's probably addicted to crack.
Like, this isn't normal. Like,
Michael, have you left yet?
No, and it's been great. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, people like that just. And then I was like, Michael, do you know anybody who can run our social? We need somebody. He's like, oh, Steph Jula. So on top of it, so sharp, and I truly believe you just attract people like that in your life.
Yeah. Well,
It just happens.
there's that. What do they say? Like misery loves company, type thing.
Yeah.
It's just the opposite of that. Where
100%.
I think you have the positive outlook on things, and yeah, it's huge, and it's important. We all have those cycles. I mean, we have it too, where you get in those ruts, and like it's what do you do in those moments to pull yourself out, and like what do you tend to do when you have those moments where you're in the valley, where it's like, man, I just don't have hope right now. Like I just go into all these casting, nothing's going through. Like, what do you tend to do for yourself to kind of bring yourself out of those low moments?
On my craft. That's how I booked my first pilot. That didn't go through, and then I doubled down on working at acting and craft.
Yeah.
I literally said to myself, I saw a quote that said, and I know I've mentioned this before on the podcast, but it pumps me up every time I think about it. There was a quote that said, "Get so good they can't ignore you anymore."
Yeah, that's a
and
great
I'm
quote.
like, yes.
Yeah,
So
really
that
good.
was the mindset I had into every audition. Like, I don't care if Daniel Day-Lewis is in this audition, which he wasn't, but obviously. But I'm going to be so good that they're going to be like, yeah, Daniel was good, but did you see Wesam? I know that's an insane mindset to have, but that's what I had, and that's what I wanted. Also, perspective. Prisoner of war. His back was, I don't know if it was what happened to his back, but he couldn't move his legs, right? And he was getting so hungry that the feces that people were,
Wow.
pooping everywhere because it was just a nightmare. They had the soybeans or some beans that they ate. Some of it didn't pass through, like didn't digest, so they were still whole. In his mind, he got so hungry.
Oh my
He
gosh.
was like, you know what? If I wash those soybeans, they should be okay to eat. And he kind of snapped out of it.
It's unreal.
Have you ever been that hungry? No, you haven't. So the next time you go, oh, I'm hungry. Dude, I haven't eaten all. Nope, you haven't. I'm sorry. That is not hunger. When you start looking at soybeans with poop on them and go, I can eat that. That's hunger.
Yeah.
Perspective, man. That's how I realize my life is, I can handle this.
Yeah.
I got this. And I'm a firm believer that God never gives you more than you can handle. It's always at your limit.
Yeah.
Then you got to find a way to get through it.
And the greatest thing about that, though, is that if you find a way through it, you're even so much better off having gone through it because you're like you said, your perspective, you just grow as a person, and then it builds you up for the next thing. But if you don't push through that, then you can't get to the next level. And it's like, I mean, we feel like, it's like God has things planned for us as well, and we have to continue to grow so that we can take on the weight of those things that are coming.
Dude.
You know?
Great. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I got too excited. Again, too caffeinated.
Dude,
guys, let's do squats right now.
Put it down.
10 burpees, go.
Great quote I saw. Whenever you feel like God is silent during your hard times, or like God's not talking to you, or God's not helping you, remember that the teacher is always silent during a test. And I was like, oh,
That is a good quote.
oh, I love that.
That's a great.
Boom.
Boom. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, what are you made of?
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's perspective and mindset that will change your reality.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm for me, that's what it's worth. I have a lot to owe to God and everything, and I think that's just what I believe.
It speaks to your character as well. I mean, it's how you choose to, when you come in front of a disappointment or something like that didn't go through. You could just kind of wallow in it and go, oh, it didn't happen. Or you know what? I'm going to get so good that they can't deny me next time, and just keep going, because you just know what you're created to do, what your passion is, and just keep going.
What else do you have control over? Honestly, at the end of the day.
Well, isn't it cool though? Like,
your...
you wouldn't go back and change the fact that you didn't get like turned down in the first one, like that pilot you're talking about, because that stirred that, and you were like, you know what? I'm gonna go even harder now.
Yeah.
It's
weird how that works out.
Right.
In the moment, it was depressing.
Like, Drew and I have had some crazy things come our way where it was like, if it just went through, it was like, boom, we're in, we're good, and then it just slips through the cracks, and then sometimes, dude, the next day you're like, wow, this is pretty difficult.
It's also okay to be like, I always tell people, like, it's okay to be disappointed. Like, I think sometimes they're like, oh, it's okay, like, just keep going with yourself and go about your day and you'll be fine. I'm like, no, like, process, like, that sucked. Like, take a couple days and just be like, wow, that was really hard, and like, get that out, like, it's important. Like, don't try to I think we try to sugarcoat it and go, yeah, just keep going, it's okay. Like no, like, that really was a tough situation. Like, how are you feeling? Like, yeah, that sucked. Like, just process through those, and like, that's part of it too, right? Like, not trying to just gloss over it and go, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be okay. I'm okay. And you keep saying to yourself that, and you're like, it's okay. Just like, man, that sucked. Just let yourself be sad for a little bit.
Yes, right. I agree with that, to a certain extent.
Yeah, you obviously can't. You don't want to stay there, but I think it's just to be real with, like, yeah, this is like that was a terrible. I feel terrible.
Well, it's like, yeah, you notice your emotions, what you're dealing with, and then you handle them, and then handle them correctly, and then in turn it's a good thing.
Yeah,
but if you go the wrong way, and I think that's where, like you said, I think friends and having good people around you in those times are so key. So I feel like for us, LA feels like home because of the people we've met here. Yeah. And we have such great connections and family now, and it's just that's huge too. Like, you can't just come out and isolate yourself and work and be by yourself. I really feel like, just for those out there that are trying to maybe think about moving out here, or just do what you got to do to get here, key is relationships for sure.
Yeah.
And
it's funny, Jared actually lives. It's funny. It's like not a normal LA story, but my wife and I live next door to Jared. Mm-hmm. So we share a wall. So Jared will just pop in and be like, "Oh yeah, you guys got some extra," just pop in. And
smells like
very much like Kramer, just popping in, and But that's cool, like,
I like that.
Really neat.
That's a really close family.
It's cool.
I mean, for Drew and I, it's huge, like, because we actually work we compose out of my place. So he can just like walk over, and it could be like late, and he can just like leave.
Yeah, we have like two separate stations.
Live in the valley.
Dude.
I'd be
calling.
Like,
the valley's calling.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Valley's calling.
Hey, there's a couple of units open in my apartment building.
Hey,
I'm just saying. Anyway.
So that's so cool. And then our recording studio is in Santa Monica, which is really close. So when we have to go do recording, we work out of we have residency at New Vine Music Studio, which is in Santa Monica. It's like this beautiful.
Shout out to New Vine.
Yeah, Leo.
Great place.
Georgie and Leo, super talented artists. Like
Love those guys.
they're amazing. Check them out. You should check them out.
I'm going to check them out now.
They have a Christmas concert coming up. We're going to. They're just incredible people, and then we share that space with Leo, and spend
And
time.
we work
there.
out of there. It's great.
When we have to do our record, which we record a lot of violin and cello and all the orchestral instruments.
Yeah.
Vocals and stuff, so it works out so great that we're able
Which
to.
we're always looking for more people to work with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cello.
Get you in,
I'm an amateur piano player.
Mike. Do you,
Oh,
what do you,
yeah,
do you
just-
sing or
Just
what?
hit this
What
key.
I'm not musically inclined.
Get you in there.
Come on now.
We'll get you in there.
Tambourine? How about
Yeah,
tambourine?
there's something. You can
Tambourine?
bang on a
You can
drum.
bang on something.
This is a great character. It's like two
bang on
composers are like, come on, you can play. I can't play
No, dude,
anything.
come on, it's good.
Come on. Do what?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then someone will be like, "Man, that tambourine was on point. Who did that?" And then before you know it, you're like, just around LA, just studio
Yeah, it's-
tambourine,
Yeah. Who knows?
Cowbell.
cowbell. So,
The stable.
Stable.
but yeah, man, what a crazy. I mean, it's been almost 4 years. It just goes by so quick. Like, what crazy adventure it has been.
I know.
Like, I mean, for you, even close to, you said 9.
9.5 almost now.
But it's been a fun journey. But one of the big things that keeps us, keeps the positive energy going is having the relationships, and then having that home that's like peace, where you can come home and like, just like, okay, I can just relax from the craziness of LA, because it is just it's a crazy city.
Yeah.
So having that space to be able to like rest is huge.
Yeah. Balance. Finding your home base.
Balance
That's what I
is
tell
huge.
new people who come out here. Get a good home base where you can recharge, focus.
So you got a lot of plants, right?
Not as many as I'd like, but yeah.
Okay.
I love plants.
How are you
man.
guys doing?
Dude, I love
Plants are amazing.
gardening.
Yeah.
So much.
I'm all about it.
Dude,
We used to
every once in a while we see an Instagram story. I'm like, man, this plants are looking good.
Yeah, good job. We
I had a
said
pepper harvest. Strong pepper
Exactly.
harvest. Way to go. Dude,
It's
they are
good.
so hot. Serrano peppers I have, they're like this big only.
What's the Scoville
Hot.
hot?
Sir.
Hot.
No, I put one tiny one, and I'm like, okay, well, in a big soup, I'm like, well, this is a nice place to be at with the spiciness.
Yeah.
I put 2 in, and I'm like, I don't want to finish
Game
this.
over. Yeah.
I love it.
Anyways, but I love that too. I used to
Yeah.
do, it's,
Home base important.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you guys have some stuff coming up,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And then you're working on stuff right now.
Yeah.
Do you guys also do other projects? Like, do you primarily work for film,
We actually
or do other like?
Yeah, we love. I mean, it's really any facet. Like I said, we did a nationally scoring Irish dance show.
Mhm.
So it wasn't film, but it was
The live production.
live dance show. I mean, really whatever.
It'd be like Riverdance, but except you were like Michael Flatley in the front
that was you.
dancing.
Yeah,
And that was you. Yeah, with
yeah,
like the shirt off and
yeah.
Dude, I'd be
It's like-
so good.
You would
Yeah,
be
I
so
know.
good. You'd be amazing.
That would be so good.
So it's really whatever
Yeah.
whatever projects come our way that they need music, that we're not going to turn it away because it's not falling to that. But really, like, we have aside from the film stuff, is we want to just perform our music live, and like Jared and I go out and like conduct together, which would be
Yeah,
super
it's-
fun.
Conduct 2-person conductor.
Two person. So that's like, we want to get up there, and we're playing with the idea. I mean, it's a twin thing happening.
Uh-oh, what's going on here?
I'm gonna,
Uh-oh.
dude, my dream would be to be a conductor as a character, not a real one, because then you have to go through all the.
But they kind of run. Yeah,
Dude, those guys who are
That-
like, hold on, let me take this
it's
off.
a performance.
Oh,
It's an incredible performance.
dude, what's the LA Philharmonic conductor, dude?
Oh yeah, what
He's
is
I
his?
believe he's
Gustavo, I think.
What's
Dudamel.
Dudamel. Oh, I know.
That's the caffeine, boys.
Dude, who are you?
And we've
Crazy.
seen it at the
I love
Hollywood Bowl quite a bit, and like, it's amazing. I mean, love it.
Yeah, it was so cool, man. Like, we just can't wait to get in front of the orchestra, man.
Yeah.
Just
We're in the
can't do it.
studio. We have the studio setting, and even when our piece was performed by the orchestra, Jared and I were like, oh, we got, like, that should be me up there. Like, can't wait to do that.
Oh, isn't that the great feeling?
So
that
cool,
that just pours gasoline on the
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
It's like we're the catalyst of the emotion we were talking about, and the orchestra feeds off of us. So it's like they're gonna feel it, and we conduct to ourselves all the time when we're composing or just listening to our music.
Yeah.
And it's a powerful experience.
If you
It's
saw us in the
amazing.
studio, you'd be like, these guys are crazy.
Yeah, like if you could see us
crazy person.
in the moment, you'd be
I love
like,
that.
this guy's they got a problem.
I mean, it's so powerful. It's
Yeah.
like, just, yeah. I and it can't
Pours out.
I mean,
So we can't wait for that to actually. People will see that when we're in front of the orchestra. Like they'll see it.
I'll be in front row.
Yeah,
Dude,
come on
VIP
out.
tickets.
Come on
VIP tickets. Tickets.
Tickets?
So foreign tickets.
Yeah, get some
Where you
tickets
from?
here.
Tickets.
here.
From 1920s.
2 tickets.
2 tickets. VIP.
Come on now. Front row, DePolo Twins. Let's go.
I'll have your T-shirts
so good.
with your faces on it.
That's right.
Beautiful. Mine face will be bigger, right? Just
Well, yeah, 'cause
like
it's bigger.
The whole performance.
Where's the Oh.
The
Set yourself up for that one.
performance by the Twins went so well, but Jared just kept looking in the front row at Wesam, and it was semi-awkward.
And he kept like just kind of
Yeah, it was
Shooter
semi-
McGavin.
it was so- he did that
Security.
Move. He did
Nowadays, that would not
He
fly.
did that move way too much.
There's a person on the front,
Yeah.
mock shooting one of the
Yeah, no.
conductors.
Oh yeah, no.
Get
no,
him
no.
out of
Okay,
there.
no.
Tackle him. So that's a big. We're writing pieces that coincide with that as well. That's a big part.
And I would say too, as any creative, just like you doing this podcast, or you have to continue to focus on your own work. Like if Andrew and I are, working on a project, it's like we have to always set time aside to work on our own stuff. You just can't. I think you have to have a balance with that. It's
That's
key.
life. You got to figure out how to do that, and
Yeah.
it's hard. It's super hard, and you'll lose sleep, or you have to wake up early. But I tell people, the feeling you get of accomplishing everything you needed to accomplish for that day is such a good feeling. It just trumps like getting some extra rest or what. I'm telling you, you can go a lot further than you think you can go.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like it's not even gonna go anywhere. It's a piece that it's just like I had to compose just because I needed it for myself. I just had to do it.
That's a good point.
Sometimes it doesn't. It's just that was for that moment, but that little bit there like helped fuel me for the next week or whatever.
That's what I do with certain acting scenes. Like I'll go on YouTube and search like best movie scenes of all time or whatever, and then something will come up with like Al Pacino in The Godfather, let's say, and I'll be like, okay, if I was playing his role in this scene, let me act opposite of the actor. So I'm in front of my computer screen.
That's fascinating.
In your head, are you doing it, or are you actually speaking
I'm
out
acting.
loud?
I'm acting.
doing it.
Yeah, like practicing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, Jared, if he was
Yeah.
doing it in his head, that wouldn't really be beneficial. Like,
Well,
if he was on set,
yeah,
he's like,
it
"We
could
Sam,
be.
are you gonna speak or anything?" He's like, "No, I'm doing it on my head."
It's
Oh,
actually no.
It's good in my head. So Film it.
It won't work. You really have to say the words
Got
out
it,
loud.
got it,
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
that's
All right,
part
well-
it's a part of the deal.
I mean, hey, get out of here, Jerry. If it's hard for me to go to the movies too now. Main reason is because everybody else ruins it in there for me, because they make too much noises, or their phones go off, or they
Ooh,
bring
boy.
in
I had an
party-sized
experience
bags of
recently.
Doritos, so
Ooh,
disrespectful.
Oh man, I could go on about that, but yeah, keep going.
No, but like I like when I'm watching a movie to immerse myself, especially if it's like a heavy acting movie. I'm like, oh, that's a role I could have played, not in like a jealous way, but like, okay, what would I do? And like,
Well, dude,
and like I'll be like, my lips will be moving while I'm watching the movie.
I'm just picturing you in the back of the theater and like it's this emotional scene and you're like standing up like, no, no, why did you leave me? And people are like, Sam's like the other character in the movie.
Did he just rip his shirt off?
Yeah, he's like, come back. I don't know. Anyways,
Wesam Quiche from More Than People. What?
like, what
Did
is
he get in
going-
here by bringing in 2 like neon like sticks to like fake like he works here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Easy.
They don't
I
use
see that.
neon. They don't use.
Yeah, they do. Those guys that walk in and they check the exits.
You mean the airplane?
That's an airplane. That's an airplane.
No,
bus.
you come on.
I know what
Those-
you're talking
you know
about.
what I'm
We know
talking
what
about.
you're talking about. Anyways,
Ushers, I don't
Dude,
think
I've seen them with neons.
How do you work with him?
it can get difficult at times. It's a lot of fun, but like they have lightsabers.
Question: do you guys ever?
Well, he
like,
brought up rocket arms earlier.
Oh, it's
That's
not- it's not-
yeah. We'll
but
never
that's-
forget
but
that. That was, we're
but
not
that's-
cutting that
That's
out.
epic.
And 120,000 or
If
whatever.
if a magician
YouTube
finds a way,
hits.
if a magician finds a way to have rocket arms, then I'll be like, there it is. See?
Well, that won't happen.
Well,
I'm confident.
Goes both ways. Okay.
Yeah.
anyways,
Do you guys ever like
Fight.
hardcore disagree on something?
hardcore.
Well,
I mean,
like I say, creatively, never. It's usually always like we're on
What?
the same. Honestly, and I say that truthfully.
Okay, I believe
Like
you.
where
It's
it's
just-
like
it's
there's
hard to
never.
believe.
I don't think there's ever been a time where like,
There's
like when we're composing, I'll just jump in and be like,
there's-
why did you do that?
there's times where it'll be. There's times
You
where.
know what I mean. Yeah, like
Like wow, just
I'm gonna delete
just
delete
like, delete everything.
on
and do-
history, go back like 3 hours, like go on.
Yeah.
Do better.
Puts a note in there. This is awful, Andrew. These notes.
Always on the same point creatively.
He's like, use all different notes. These are terrible notes.
Dude,
never
in
use
my
these
head-
notes in this order.
Yeah.
I love coming up with characters, and this is like coming
The
up with
composer character?
Yeah, no, twin composers, but
Uh-oh.
they're the opposite of you guys, constantly fighting, and you don't know how they create a good product, but they do eventually.
Yeah.
You guys create a good product. I'm not saying it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But like they're always fighting, and it's like the most ridiculous stuff. This is what
See, but that's a good. Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
I think that'd be funny too.
I'm the director having to deal with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I
You
see it
guys-
happening. You're trying to kind of corral us in now and figure out how to get the best out of both of us.
Yeah.
Like,
You know? I see it.
Jared, I'll do all the white notes. You do all the black ones. Let's see what happens.
Oh,
That'd be
like-
interesting.
oh yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's a new piece we can create right there. I don't know. I don't know.
It's like
We're always
Dude,
thinking.
I miss you, man, for real.
I know.
It's been a while. I just love like hanging out with you, dude.
I know,
We
it's
were
fun.
thinking of like twin things too. Like I'm like, can we hop on a piano and then Jared play like one piece, I play another one, and they come together and like form one, and then we like record it. I don't know. I was thinking of like twin.
Oh, it was like we composed separately on the
Yeah.
piano a piece, and then we put them together, and then like if they just somehow magically like,
or if we did it on the
made
same piano.
sense
I don't know.
at the
We're always
same
thinking
time.
of like weird twin
like
things.
yeah.
Fun stuff. You can
That's
do.
the quote of the podcast. We're always thinking of
Weird
twin
twin
things.
things. Yeah.
That's online.
It's just us in our bootcut jeans, and we come up with weird twin things
Dude.
underneath.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that is so funny. Like when you,
Dude, I
when you
laughed
co-
so
when
hard.
you commented on that, I remember
I
looking
just
at you
laughed
like,
so
I was
hard.
like, Wesam, like,
Dude,
this guy, dude.
you know other people are watching it. That's the part that gives me enjoyment. I will never see other people's reactions.
made me laugh
People are
so
like,
You
hard.
know, they're like
Boot
boot
cut?
cut.
what's boot cut?
Made me laugh so
What?
hard.
And when they find out, they're like, oh, why is he commenting on this?
Wesam,
I don't
everything
get it.
goes in cycles.
Yeah.
The boot cut will come back.
Forever.
I'm not, I mean, I'm not gonna wear them. I don't have boot cut on now.
No,
but
you have
He's got jumpers, doesn't he? Joggers.
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 What were you?
Do they make them any tighter or?
Well, that's you gotta
That's right. You tell him, Wesam.
loosen up your pants, son.
No, those thighs, man. That's
I
squats.
mean, you gotta work with what you have. So
Hey,
I'm not afraid to show it.
So did you want to say something about creatively? Because I don't think there's ever been times.
When we
man.
have moments where it's like, hey, let's maybe try this thing or try that, but it's never like, oh my god, what the heck
That's
did you
cool.
do? But
Yeah.
surely, I mean, sure we have different, opinions at times on things, but
yeah.
never have any. I mean, we never had really even any like blow up fights, like Jared
Andrew,
and
you
I
might
fist
not want
fighting.
to wear that red velvet coat.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
Yeah, I kind of lost me on that actually, but red velvet coat. I don't know what is he talking about.
I think this is a real incident that you're trying to play off.
No,
that
it's not.
happened.
It's not. It's not.
At an event, you're wearing a red velvet coat.
Oh yeah, you're just talking about like if we had an agreement. No,
Yeah,
okay.
disagreement.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking to myself in a
Come back in, Risa. We're
Red-
not talking about his thighs anymore. We're
red velvet
we're
coat.
coming back
Oh,
in.
no, I said coat. What are you talking? Hey man, I'm off his thighs, okay?
Okay.
We're coming back in.
But yeah, I don't know. We get along really well. I don't know. We found that with twins, it's usually like either they're really close or they're not very close at all. It seems like that way. The ones that we meet, like where it's kind of like the polar end of the spectrum.
That's really lucky. That's really cool though.
Yeah.
And that's probably why you guys have had so much success so far, and will
fun.
continue to have success.
Yeah. It's certainly fun. It's certainly unique. I mean,
I definitely can't imagine doing this without Drew, for sure. It's like
yeah.
it's just so cool how even when we're composing, it's like there's always we each have a piece to play with every piece that we're composing. It's really cool. It's not like one person's left out. Like he did the whole thing and then I just did. You know what I mean? Like it's always like always feels like an equal amount of like heart and passion that's poured into each thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really interesting. Just the twin dynamic. It's just fun. I mean, being able to share something that you're so passionate about with someone that looks like you and like things like you, and it's not only like is it your friend or your brother or your coworker, whatever the case may be. It's like like twin brothers, like something that's like really like really close. I mean, not many people share the womb with somebody else.
That's
Not many.
very true.
Right. So we've been tight for a long time. So and that also made our LA adventure like that was fun. Like packing our car and just driving across the country.
Oh,
and, like,
I
coming
thought
up.
you meant okay. Yeah,
I don't even know.
Early adventure. No.
Yeah.
I thought you meant
Well, yeah, we're
birth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were kicking it.
I'm messing with you.
Hey, we can't figure out how to put that
Pre-birth
seat
and-
down back here. How do you put that seat down in here?
It was funny when someone showed us that. They
Is
were
a
like,
Honda Civic?
they were like, you can pull this lever, and we're like, oh, I didn't have to throw out that table that I threw out before I moved out. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, it just makes this
I
journey-
promise everybody we are smart. We just, I think when
Well, when you say that,
it, But when we got the car, it was like the guy was like, the seat doesn't go down, and we're like, oh, we just took him at his word for it, and then it didn't go down. Whatever. Anyways.
Yeah.
A lot of.
Well, if people want to find your music, where can they go?
Yeah, our website is depolomusic.com.
Cool.
It's DEPOLO, and if you do like anything /Twin Composers, like Facebook.com /Twin Composers, YouTube, Instagram.
Spotify.
Great.
It's all the Twin Composers.
I think Spotify is just our names.
Yeah, I think Spotify is just Andrew and Jared DePolo. But
and if any directors or producers want to get in contact with you guys, all your contact info is on
it's all there.
Okay, great.
It's all there.
Everything they need to know is on our website.
You don't know if it'll be Jared or myself getting back to you, but it will be signed twins or something. No, I don't know. Anyway.
Okay.
Somebody
Which one did I talk to? Either one, but no.
Jared, no, Andrew, but wait, I don't know who this is.
So I could be Jared. It could be Andrew getting back to you as Jared.
Cool. Seriously, guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Dude, thanks for having us on, man.
One last thing, I did find the clip.
Oh, you did find it?
Oh, yes.
Let's end it on a strong note here. Go Browns.
Dude, look at that.
Dude,
This video's got a lot of...
I know.
strong core.
It's got
Very
a lot of
strong core.
video.
I'm not a quarterback.
It's very strong core. But seriously, Wesam, thanks for having us on.
Yeah.
Love you, dude.
Love you
Appreciate
too.
everything that that you're doing. And
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Come on and just spend some time with you, man.
Pleasure is all mine. Michael, I forgot to tell you, we're doing things a little different. I wanted to do things a little differently for the ending. We're just going to end it now. I'm just going to say thank you to everybody, and we won't have that little last clip in there. Is that cool?
The way that you don't want the outro?
Yeah, no, outro. It'll just be me. Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
going to be awkward?
No,
We're
it's
done?
not. I like
just
it.
end
should we compose an outro piece right now on the spot?
Yeah.
Ready?
Go ahead. While I'm thank you guys for listening. Yeah, a little lower. Great. Oh, there we go. Perfect. I like that. Thank you guys for listening to the show. Thank you for the new people who reviewed, gave us new reviews on iTunes.
All right.
Yeah. I don't think this will work out.
Dude, I went into like a total funk mode, and I was like, I don't know, I was just kind of like lazy, like Wesam chill mode.
I was trying to see how low I could go and do Wesam, but it's not very low.
That's not low at
chill.
all.
I know. It really is.
Chill funk with Wesam.
Yeah.
If you could see the face you're making when you
Yeah,
say
it was.
that,
I was gonna say. It's
I
getting
stared at you,
borderline
dude.
creepy
I was
in
dead
here.
stare.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We might not air this
It's a
episode.
very small room. It's a very small room. We need to get some air. Anyway.
Thank you to the new reviewers on iTunes. We appreciate you subscribing and reviewing the show.
Yes.
Thank you to you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Love the haircut.
Looking good over there, Michael.
Thank you.
It does. Thank you to Steph for all that you do social media wise. Thank you to everybody who comments, likes, and subscribes on our show, shares it with your friends. Thank you to Adobe Radio, Nice Guy Digital. I hope everybody is staying safe with the wildfires out there. And
Prayers go out to them.
yeah,
Everyone struggling with that for sure.
absolutely. Yeah, guys. Michael?
All right.
We're done.
All right,
We
wrap
out.
it up.